So it seems like there's credible sources out there now saying that the PlayStation 5 is actually more powerful than the Xbox Scarlett. Let's get into it.
Skip it up and that up.
So Colin Moriarty, who used to be an IGN editor, now he has Colin's Last Stand, and he also does a podcast called Sacred Symbols, was talking about Microsoft's E3 press conference. The video I'm looking at here, he had, or the podcast actually is from June 13th. And he did a recap of the whole Xbox presentation or Microsoft presentation, but he said something very interesting, like 40 minutes into the podcast, that he has insider sources, and not just his sources, that are saying that the PlayStation 5 is more powerful than the Xbox Scarlett, which is strange because a lot of the rumors until now have been that the next Xbox is actually more powerful than the PlayStation 5. This is what he had to say. Take a listen.
I did read a rumor from Andrew Reiner. Andrew Reiner is a pretty well-connected person in the industry. He's at Game Informer. He's been there forever. Where he had been hearing rumors, and I have been hearing stuff like this too, but I really don't know if it's true, that the next PlayStation is definitively more powerful than this. That people that have access to both builds for making games are saying the PlayStation is more powerful. Now, that is a scary notion to me, because if a machine is running a game at 120 frames and 8K, I just don't believe that that's even possible. I think you have to choose one or the other. Otherwise, this machine is going to be extremely expensive. And if PlayStation 5 can do even better than this, and I don't think they're saying they can do better than 120 or 8K, but if it's more powerful, then how much are these machines going to cost?
So we'll talk about pricing in a second, but what Colin Moriarty said there was interesting, because before he actually put up this podcast, which again is called Sacred Symbols, a lot of the rumors were saying that the next Xbox is actually more powerful than the PlayStation 5, that they're doing things with the SSD that actually can act like extra RAM, and they said that during the E3 presentation. And even before that, we were hearing that the high-end model because they're coming out with a few models, supposedly, the rumor mill says, of the next Xbox, but the high-end premium model was going to be a better performer than the PlayStation 5. So hearing this kind of took me back a little bit. And Andrew Reiner did confirm from Game Informer that the target PlayStation 5 specs are superior than to the Xbox Scarlett. So, I mean, he works for Game Informer. He's not just some random Twitter troll just, trying to get people to pay attention to him. So there is some validity to this. And it's surprising because this kind of came out of nowhere. Now, it's funny when I talked about the 8K capabilities that we're hearing with the PS5 and next Xbox or Xbox Scarlett and other videos, and people would say, Rich, you don't know what you're talking about. There's no way that they could run games in 8K. And I'm like, no kidding, of course. When they say they're capable of outputting 8K with these consoles, it's just they're saying, okay, so maybe if Netflix starts streaming in 8K, or if they upscale a game to 8K, upscaling is not rendering. Like, so pretend there's an equal sign, there's a slash through it. Upscaling is not rendering. They would say, if Microsoft or Sony said they were rendering games at 8K resolution, I would laugh. Okay, because one of two things. One, it's just not happening. Even high-end graphics cards would struggle to play games in 8K, like medium or low settings. Okay, in most cases, I'm sure there's some exceptions out there, but virtually all of them. And secondly, the price, even if there was hardware out there that was obtainable that could do 8K gaming, the price of the consoles would have to be like $1,200. That's actually probably a low number too, probably much higher than that. They're not going to do that. What they're saying is, you already could go to Best Buy and buy a Samsung 8K TV. What they're saying is we can upscale to 8K, we can output like Netflix when Netflix supports 8K, and Hulu, so on and so forth. And maybe some basic like 2D games or racing games or games that aren't that GPU intensive, they might be able to run at 8K. But I'm telling you, you're not getting 8K gaming experiences on the next-gen consoles out of the box. Maybe if they do like what they did this generation, which I don't think is going to happen, but maybe it will, where they come out with an Xbox Scarlett Pro or a PlayStation 5 Pro down the line, that might be a possibility. I still kind of don't see it because that, or maybe they at that point, like 6 years from now, that could happen. But you understand what I'm saying, okay? So that's not going to be in the pricing because they're not going to make a box that could render. Sony or Microsoft is not going to make a next-gen console that could render games in 8K natively. It's not going to happen, so that's not going to bring the price up. I think that we're probably going to see $500 and $600 price points, though, because Microsoft and Sony are definitely being more ambitious with these 9th gen consoles than they were when they released the 8th gen ones. The 8th gen ones, I still hold to the fact that they were laughably underpowered, especially the Xbox One, because they want to try to bundle in the Kinect, and they cut back on GPU costs and hardware costs to bundle the Kinect, and it actually was less powerful than the base PS4. So I think Sony and Microsoft with these next-gen consoles are playing catch-up and make-up and saying, hey, we're giving you a next-gen experience here. We're not playing around with the specs. So they're not going to be as cheap, the next Xbox and PlayStation, as the PS4 and Xbox One were when they launched. You're going to be at least $500. Well, technically, the Xbox One was $500 or $499 when it launched because they tried to give you the Kinect, but you get what I'm saying. It's going to be a little bit more of an expensive of a generation, but you know what? I'm okay with that. If they have more capable hardware out of the gate, it means we're going to get better games. And even if you don't want the consoles and you're a PC elitist, if the consoles are better performing consoles, that means the ports that you're going to get to the PC are also going to look and run better as well. So even if you're anti-console, better, more powerful consoles coming out is a win for everybody. And even if the PlayStation 5 and all these educated rumors out there saying that the PlayStation 5 is more powerful than the Xbox Scarlett are true, I mean, we both know they're running Zen 2 architecture. They're using AMD Navi architecture. I think they're still going to be in the same realm of capabilities. So maybe it's not like, even though Colin Moriarty made it like it might be the PS5 is going to be a slam dunk over the next Xbox, I don't think it's going to be. I think maybe what you'll see on Digital Foundry is that once in a while, the frame rate will be a little bit choppier on the Xbox Scarlett compared to the PS5, or maybe sometimes you'll see textures are a little bit sharper, but you'll have to really look with a fine-tooth comb. So I don't think it's going to be like a devastating blow, the PS5, even if it is more powerful than the next Xbox. So if you're an Xbox super fan, I wouldn't lose sleep over this, even if the PS5 is a more capable piece of hardware. But again, ladies and gentlemen, these are all rumors. Time will tell. We're on the eve of a next console generation. It's less than a year away. And who knows, we may get educated rumors from game developers inside the industry that say that the next Xbox is way more powerful than the PlayStation 5. Who knows? Things are going to fluctuate all the time because we are on the eve of 9th gen consoles and things are about to get real interesting. This is Rich of Review Tech USA signing out. Have a good one.